All right, I want to welcome everyone to free live demo, build a website in Squarespace. We have our own Boston business mentor, Elena, and she has put together this presentation to help you navigate building your own website. But as we get started, in case you're new to Boston Business Mentors, let me just give you a little bit background about us. We are a volunteer-based organization. Our goal is small business education and advising. We do that through a couple different modes, workshops and webinars. We are constantly adding brand new topics. Watch our website, watch our newsletters. We have some really exciting topics, I think, coming up for the spring. Another way we share or give information is through our website. We have been adding blogs to the resources tab like crazy, and some of them are even clients that have something to offer. So definitely take a look at those topics. There's some really great topics in there. Without a doubt, the most important thing we do will be the mentoring. Our mentors, like I said, are all volunteers. They have multiple range of skill sets and experiences. Mentoring can be something different to each client. A mentor could be a sounding board. A mentor can be someone who helps you plan so that you can overcome goals or overcome challenges and reach goals. They can be just someone to help you find a resource that you're looking for. The relationship can be different for everyone. Sometimes the relationships are short term and sometimes they're long term. And it's not uncommon that a team of mentors is built for you as you progress through on your pathway. They will invite other skill sets in different whatever your needs are at the time. So you can use that QR code there to get a mentor. We'll put it up again at the end in case you don't have time to catch it now. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Elena and let her introduce herself and get started.
Great. Thank you, Teresa. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Elena Chernikalska. I am Boston Business Mentor, one of the founders of Boston Business Mentors, and I've been mentoring people for, gosh, it's almost 5 years now. I'm actually not a software programmer. I am a scientist. I've been in biotech industry all my life, but I do have e-commerce business myself. I've learned how to build website, and then I built multiple websites, and I taught multiple clients how to build websites. So this is a very basic demonstration. You will see that it's actually very easy to use. So hopefully by the end of this, you may not have all the tools, but you will know how to get your way around Squarespace. So the agenda is very simple. We'll build a site and then hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A. So before we jump into the building, I wanted to make a few points. One is that building your own website is not about saving money on web designer. It's about having control and flexibility. So anytime you want to change price, you want to run sale, you want to change colors on your website, you want to add another partner to your website, you can do it in 15 minutes off your desktop. If you have a designer who manages your website, you have to, request the change, and then it's going to take a while, and you may not like a change, and then you're asking for a change again, and so on and so on. Some people have to pivot to a new business model just because the first one doesn't work. It's not unusual. You can do it easily if you know how to build your own website. The other beautiful thing about building and managing your own website is that you have full access to analytics. So you will see Google Analytics, you will see who comes to your website, what pages they visit, how long they stay there, what they search for. All this is accessible. And then you can optimize your own search engine, which is very, very important. And if you don't have access to analytics and you don't have access to your own website, this is not something you can do easily. So with that, I want you to remind that website is not built on your computer. Website will be built in Squarespace. It's built remotely. So what you do, your computer edits and adds content. Squarespace writes a code and stores your website, and your domain name then helps people to find it. So then when site is published, and only when it's published, this is a question that many, many people ask me. So when I start editing my website, can everybody see it? No, you have to publish it. So you have to publish it, and then anybody on the internet can access it, even when your computer is off. And that is how basically it works. So you build your site in the Squarespace. It's almost like building a document, but Squarespace will be building code behind it. You will register your domain name. That's a separate process. So you can build a website without having domain name. You don't need to have it to build a website. And only when you connect two of them, when you assign your domain name to your website, then Squarespace will know that if my website.com is typed into URL line of a browser, send them to my website. So that's how it works. Very simple. So website, in a sense, it's kind of three things that work together. Content that you build, a platform where you built it, so it's Squarespace in this case, and then domain name so people can find it. And with that, we have a task for today. We're going to build a website for cat toy business. So it's going to be e-commerce website. I had to come up with some sort of example. So I have an Abyssinian cat. So I figured, let's build a website for cat toys. Let's imagine I start new business. It's called Purr Lab. And we'll learn how to add a banner, create sections, add products, edit text, edit images, create menus, and create all kinds of buttons. Yeah, sounds good? All right. I'm going to stop sharing this, and it's all going to be live. So, I've done this demo in my one-on-one sessions with clients. I never done it to a larger group. So if something breaks in the middle, I apologize. But hopefully technology will work. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing Squarespace. All right, how is that? Can we see it?
Yep, looks good, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, I have multiple websites that I built before, and they all kind of stored. So I already have account. You can go and create your Squarespace account, or you can log in with your Google account if you'd like. One of the reasons I picked Squarespace in the first place is because it gives you 14 days free. So any website that you're building is free for 14 days. So you can go there, you can experiment, you can play with it. In the end of 2 weeks, you either pay for it or your website gets deleted. So just have to remember that. But if you didn't like your website and you decided to start a whole new one, you delete it, you start a new one, you get your 2 weeks again. So this is great marketing approach from Squarespace point of view. They just kind of give you time to play and experiment without any risking your money. And for you, it's great because you kind of can try if you can do it and not pay anything if you don't like it. So we're going to create a website. Let's go ahead and create a website. We clicked on the button, and Squarespace gives you that button right there first time. First thing you can see, create your website. And the first thing it's going to ask you is what your site is going to be about. And I'm going to search and say cat. And sure enough, there's cat, there's pets and animals. I would say cats. I love cats. And then we click next. Now it's going to ask you, what do you want to do on your website? So now think about it, right? So I'm building simple e-commerce website, so not much in there. Maybe in the future, I want to build some communities around it and so on, but don't bother with that because you always can add to your site. What you want to start from is very, very basic. So I'm not selling online courses, offer a contact form probably so people can reach me. Get appointments, no appointments. Invoices, no invoices. Memberships, not yet. Maybe at some point. Showcase work expertise, no. Promote a physical business. Okay, maybe. Sell on-demand videos, no. Collect donations, no. Build community, maybe later. Sell services, no. Sell products. Okay, and then probably want to publish a blog or other media to make sure that I promote my expertise, right? So they're very simple, just 4 things. And we go say next. So here we come to the point where many people say, how do I find a template? And my answer is don't. Don't use template. You really don't need template in the age of AI because AI will build you template to your taste. I found that templates are very hard sometimes to work with because they have a lot of hard-coded stuff, so stuff that is in HTML code, so you can't really change it in the website builder. If you start from AI, you can change absolutely anything. You can create your own template, you can create, you can change fonts, buttons, pictures, anything you want. So don't start from a template, just say build. And so AI now starts including things that you want to have on your website. And now you get to the point of like, how do you want your site look? And so first, site title. So I said, Per Lab Cat Toys. And then personality. So I think playful, since I'm selling toys, right, is good, but you can have quirky, friendly, bold, sophisticated, innovative, professional. Choose yours. It actually doesn't, again, it's not going to fix you in a certain template. It's just going to give you something to start from. And then we click on next. And now it's thinking. So, and now it's changed, it's asking me, okay, so what's your homepage is going to have? And basically it's what menu you're going to have on here on the top. So I'm going to have intro section, I'm going to have product section, no services, no appointments, no digital products, probably about form, footer. Yeah, everybody has a footer. Forms I don't really need. So I think that looks good enough for me. And we go to next. And it kind of shows you what it's going to look like. Maybe it's not exactly the cat toys I had in mind, but it's kind of getting there, right? So, and we'll go next. And now it's asking me for a color palette. So now, again, don't fixate on this. You can absolutely change everything. Whatever, you can pick one and then change to another one. You can also change one color. If I like red one, but I don't like purple one, or I don't like combination, I can change them later too. I think I'm gonna go with like maybe more neutral at this point. Oh, let's try this one and say next. And I'll show you how to change things. And then more, what's a font, right? So some of you are very sensitive to fonts. Some people are like, I don't know what's the difference between different fonts. I'm gonna take friendly font at this point. I mean, I love sans serif fonts, so sans serif would be my choice if I build a professional website, but it's a cat toy, so let's go with a friendly one. So finish. And look at the magic. Boom. Okay. And so then you get to this menu and you're looking at it and saying, and where is my website? In order for it, so what you see here is basically a kind of a dashboard. It's all about your website, but you don't see actual website until you click on website. And then you get to this whole menu where you're going to be working. And so let's look through the menu first. So it has pages. So pages is very important because pages basically it's all the pages that you have on your website. There are two sections in there. There's main navigation. Anything that you add here will appear in the top menu. Everything that you add here will not appear in your top menu. And you may say, well, why would they need pages that are not linked? Actually, if you have things like, privacy policies, sometimes you don't want them to be in the top menu, right? So they could be here and you may have linked to them somewhere in your footer. We don't have much at this point, but we will keep building, right? So let's go to main navigation and think about what do we want to have first of all? Probably we want to have something different. I mean, that doesn't tell me it's a cat toy. So let's start editing our site a little bit. Now, remember I said your website is built in Squarespace. So it's in some server somewhere far away. So it's not on your computer. So some things are different. And why are they different? You have to tell Squarespace what exactly you want to edit. So if you work in a, Excel spreadsheet, you click on the cell, you edit the cell, right? You can be clicking anywhere and nothing is going to happen. It all happens because website is built out of elements or blocks. So there is image block, there is button block, there's text block, there's form block, there is, let's say, donate form element, right? So all of them are different forms. And the menus on Squarespace and any website builder, by the way, if you go to Wix or you go to Shopify, it's going to be very, very similar. So you're not necessarily learning how to do it specifically in Squarespace. You're learning how to build a website these days. So menu is contextual. So I'm going to click on edit and show you that different things have different menus. So one, you can go to header and say edit site header, and that will allow you to change mostly colors of this very top menu part. It's not going to let you change the pages here or whatever it says here in the menu because you need to add pages, right? So remember, it's not click and print, click and type. It's actually, you have to add building blocks, right? So we're building like Lego to it. You can come here and say, add block. So again, if you click on add block, it will ask you what block you want. Do you want a text? You want a button? You want an image, video? You want accordion, which is the opening kind of and closing text. Form, shape, scrolling, line. You can add products, pricing, plan, donation. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can add. It's actually, you can play with it for a long time. It's a lot of fun. But we're not going to add sections right now. I'm not going to add blocks. What we want to do, we want to change the image. And what I'm going to do now, if I click anywhere here, it's not going to let me edit image. I need to click on the image. And then you see that it's kind of image started getting this blue border around. So its image is selected. And then I'm going to click on edit. And I'm going to delete this image because for me, color is for the cat toy. So I'm going to delete it and I'm going to add an image. And now I'm going to upload file from my computer. And I prepared some images and I prepared some text so you don't have to watch me typing here. And, you know, unleash your perfect adventure. I didn't say that. That's AI generated. Okay, how's that? So this is exactly like my cat. So we have image. Now this image actually has a little bit of like toys on the bottom, but you can't see them. So I'm not specifically happy how it's positioned, so I can change that. I click again on edit image, not edit banner, not edit section. I'm clicking on edit image and I click on edit right under the image. Again, remember contextual menu. And here I can say that I want to crop and I want a custom crop and I just want to delete some of the white space so it looks more like a banner and I'm going to save and confirm it. And boom, we have toys. Cool. So now we kind of like have more kind of on my side, but this is not what I want to say. So I have smarter play for curious cats. So I'm going to the text and now I'm going to edit text. So I selected the text. I'm not typing anywhere here. I'm selecting the text and I'm going to say Control C, Control, oh, sorry, wrong one. Hold on. Hmm. Smarter play for curious cats. Okay, that took some working. I think my keyboard is not really happy. Okay, so we have that. I probably don't want it black. I wanted to change color, so we can change color and change it to this, maybe. And now it's a little dark. So let's see what's happening with the dark image. We don't want it dark, so we're going to change this again, and we go to design. And we don't want any color. And now it's light. And okay, so it's kind of. like that. So we save and exit for now, so we can take a look at that. Okay, and the little arrow here in the corner, that basically allows you to preview site without all the site menus and stuff. So we can click on it and we can see this is what our website is going to look like. Okay, that's fun. And we also can see what it's going to look like on a mobile view, right? Because these days, if it's not on mobile, it's not useful, right? So we want to have site that is good for mobile. And in this case, I think that is a little too low for me, right? That's too much white space. So I'm just going to go and move it. And I'm going to make this section smaller. Save it. Okay. So it didn't change anything for our main view on the big screen, but it did change view on the mobile screen. So that's important. It's always important to check what it looks like on the phone. Okay, so that's great. Let's see this. And then we exit this and we probably need more pages. So we have shop, we have home page, but why home is not showing on the menu here, right? It's not showing in the menu because for some reason it moved it to not linked. So I'm going to grab this home button, this home thing, and move it right into main navigation. And boom, now you have it showing, right? So if you click on home, it will bring you to the first picture. All right. So let's keep going. Featured products. So now we're going to e-commerce part of it. So we're selling products, so we need to add products. Okay, good. This is obviously not the products I want to sell. So I also not going to change anything here because again, it's a website. So you build your products in the shop section and then you say, I want this product to be featured. So they will be pulled into the first page. So you don't need to build this. Okay, and I'll show you how it works. We're going to go to shop and it pre-built you some products and some views and we're going to click edit. Again, there's manage items and edit section. So edit section will allow you to change the view or how the section looks like. So what the section looks like. So colors, how many products are going to be positioned. Are they going to be large, small, whatever. If you click on design, on grid, you may ask for smaller ones. Divider. You can create longer products. You can create more square ones. I like square pictures, so let's go with square pictures. Okay, great. And then eventually you can also change how many products you can see, but we're not going to change that now. So let's click on, and then manage items will go to adding new products. So I'm going to save this, exit for a sec. And then I'm going to click on the product. And now I'm going to edit the product itself because that's what you want to, right? In the end. And so again, look at that. There's edit product and edit section. Edit product will allow you to change picture of a product, description of a product, price, inventory number, shipping size, all the stuff that is related to your product description. Edit section will help you to change the way this looks. So maybe your add to cart button needs to be on the bottom. Maybe your product name should be in larger letters and so on and so on. So we're going to change product at this point. And here is edit product name. So now you got to the screen, which basically edit products. I'm going to call this feathers. And see if I have feathers somewhere, products. And just change this to lightweight interactive one that mimics the movement of birds in flight. Perfect. Great. So I have an image of feather toy. So I'm going to delete this one. I don't need this. And I will add my own image. And we'll find toy feathers. Okay. So we've got the feathers. It's still loading. It's also going to have it as featured image, as a thumbnail for the image, basically. You can add more pictures. Obviously, if you go to a website, there are multiple pictures of the same products. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to change the price to, say, $20. It's not on sale. I say it's unlimited stock because at this point it's unlimited stock, but if I only have 5, I'll probably add it there. SKU if you need to change it. You can add variants here. So if you have a small toy, large toy, green toy, yellow toy, pack of 5, this all added here in variants. You even can add subscriptions if you want people to order this toy every month if the cat is particularly playful and rips it apart. Fulfillment will you tell weight and dimensions, so Squarespace can calculate how much it costs to ship. And organization is basically, is it visible to public or is it visible only to members? For example, if you have a membership, automated tax collection, so it will take sales tax by itself. And yeah, and then you can say featured product. So remember on the first page, we had some 3 featured products. So this is where it set it up. You don't set it up on the front page. You set it up here. Okay. And we can say save. Let's see what happened. And we probably should reload it. Amazing. And we have it. Okay. So now if you click on shop, we have first product and it's loaded. And what happened to the home page? We need to reload it again. Squarespace doesn't do it. And where is my featured product? Okay. Let's check it again that we have it featured. Others, edit, edit product. We have featured image. And we set featured products. Okay, well, eventually it will appear there. Trust me, it will. Okay. We'll cancel since we didn't change anything. Let's go back to homepage. Okay. So then we probably want to add, we'll just leave the featured product away, but on its own for a while. It's sometimes it just takes time to update those things. Squarespace is, they have a lot of people working at the same time. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to add a blog because we want to write about toys, right? And show our expertise. So I'm going to go to main navigation and click on plus. And in this case, you can add different pages. So remember, we were adding different blocks and elements. This is adding different pages now. And pages have different properties. So this is, for example, basic page with a banner on top and some text under it. There is a page with 3 pictures and text under them and so on and so on. We want to go actually to blog, so showcase, right? So you can see that there's portfolio, gallery, there's calendar, there's videos. Again, you can add products page, but we're going to add blog because that's what we're going to do for our cat toys. And in this case, probably we'll take this format. So I will have a picture of for a blog and I will have some text, what it's called. So let's add a blog page. And you see, we have now a blog in main navigation, and I'm going to call it How Cats Learn. Look at that. So we have it now in the main menu. I don't think I want to have it before home, so I'm just going to grab it and take it somewhere behind shop and about. Okay, and so this is now our blog. So how do we edit blog? In order to edit blog, first of all, we're going to click on it. So blogs are edited slightly different. As you've seen, product pages are edited slightly different. So there's a specific format for product, specific format for portfolio, specific format for events, specific format for blogs. So this is a blog format. So I'm going to click on blog and say edit. And I'm going to make my first blog, which is called How toys help prevent destructive behavior in cats. And I have some text prepared. And this is why I say preparing some content is good. So when you design your website, you work in macro environment, you're not sitting there thinking about every word. And I'm going to change the text. Here we go. It's small, but let's say we have this for now. We'll develop it later. Notice that text in web builders, in every web building platform, and I've been at this point working with at least 3, has format, and formats are here. So there's heading 1, 2, 3, and 4, and paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. So heading will have this kind of font. Paragraph will have the more of a, I think it's sans serif, right? Font. It's also different size. So if I choose this text and I change it to say heading 4, it all of a sudden changed to this. And you kind of like don't give the size and a font in this format because you do it for the whole site. And that makes everything look more cohesive, more like, designer site. So you don't have different fonts in different places. So we change it to paragraph 1 maybe at this point. It looks good. And I'm going to save it. And now you will say, oh, where is the and exit? Where is the picture, right? So if we go to the page where cats learn, we've got the text, but we didn't get the picture. Well, the pictures actually changed in different place. And so if you click on a blog, this is where all the blogs are. So like I said, Squarespace manages blogs differently. So there is blogs which are going to be listed on the left side, and you build blogs by adding extra blog, and you can just keep building them. And then Squarespace will take all of them and put them on one page so your customers can see multiple blogs and pick the one that they would like to see. So makes sense, right? So picture is actually being changed here in settings. So if we click on settings, settings are extremely important part of every page because there's few things here. One is what the page is going to look like, and 2, there's SEO and search engine optimization. So we're going to look at it really quickly, but I can teach the whole class on search engine optimization. All right, so we're going to change the image first. So remove image and do again the same. And I think I have cat destroying aloe plant, which is exactly like what my cat is doing. So that could have been my cat. Come on. The image will appear, and then here we can again put a little text, right? So people know, your customers know what this blog is about. Wow, that takes a long time to learn what happened there. Okay, we have a look at it. All right, so we loaded image, we added a little bit of about this blog, what this blog is about. So excerpt. The URL of this page will be listed by itself. Who built it? We don't need any of that. We can go to options and say published or draft. If you're still working on a blog, you can change it to draft or needs review, but we'll do it published at this point. And when is it published? So this is a date. Unfortunately, the default goes to 2019, and there's absolutely no way to scroll fast. So you really have to go through this until 2026. I'm not going to do it here. And then in SEO, this is the search engine optimization, right? So this is where you add, what do you want search engine know about your blog, right? So for example, in this case, you want to say cat experts teach you how to stop cats from unwanted behavior or something like that. But we'll save it for now.
Yeah, Lena, I got a question. Can
Yeah,
I? Yeah, for the shop page, if you have many items to add, can you do one bulk upload of the photos?
no, not that I know of. And maybe if you work with a professional web designer, maybe they know. I usually, so You add one photo at a time. I haven't tried any bulk uploads. I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Is there a way to publish part of the draft website while you still work on the shop part?
Absolutely. Yes. So as soon as you pay, so before you pay your 14 days for free, before you pay for a month at least, you won't be able to publish anything. After you pay, you will get a button which says publish. And then if you have your domain name, you will assign domain name to your site and you publish it and it will be visible to everybody. You can also publish it under password if you want to, for example, publish it for your friends to see, but you don't want the whole world to see it yet. You will, and then, or you can technically even publish it with the Squarespace name. So Squarespace always gives, so if you can look at the URL page here, it's kind of a weird round sprout and some whole bunch of different signs. So it's kind of your code name with Squarespace. You always will keep that one. But then when you have a domain name, Squarespace will know that this is equal myname.com, mydomain.com, and then it will redirect automatically. But you totally can, I mean, most of the websites I ever published, they were published like half-made, right? Because you want to have something out there, and then that also kind of applies pressure to update it and make it better. So, yeah.
How do you link to the domain name?
Oh, I was hoping that nobody will ever ask me about this. So here's the thing. If you don't have your domain yet and you want to use Squarespace to build a website, I recommend you to go and buy a domain through Squarespace. So Squarespace on the very first page, it has buy domain button. You just go buy domain and then you just basically go to your website setup and it'll say connect this domain to my website, and it's seamless, easy, and pain-free. If you already bought domain with, say, GoDaddy or Porkbun or Namecheap, whatever, there is a little bit more work. I would say, so you need to transfer DNS records, so you need to know domain register that my domain is on Squarespace, and so when somebody searches that domain, it sends you to Squarespace, Squarespace sends you to your website. I can show you if you want to come and I can show you how to do it. I cannot explain it right now here because it really depends on where you registered your domain. Okay, so anyways, Teresa, any other questions there?
There's a longer one I need to read through first, so go ahead and keep going.
All right, so yeah, so anyways, our blog is live. Here it is. Here's my cat eating, not my cat, but exactly like my cat eating my aloe plant. I obviously don't have enough toys. Okay, so we have now, if we come home, and what's happened with my featured product? I'm really not happy with that. Okay, it's product. Let's do it again. It just didn't capture the featured and featured. Save. Okay, unfeatured it. Sometimes it happens. I mean, you're building remotely, right? So it's a product again. Things happen. Sometimes it takes time to update things. So don't get frustrated. Don't get discouraged. You know, sometimes it just takes time. Okay. Nope, doesn't want to do it. Not today. I have no clue why it does it. But okay, so let's leave that alone for now. It's a Squarespace issue, not my issue, because I've done it a million times. Let's get to a little bit more, adding a little bit more interest to our website, right? So first of all, get to know us. It's probably about us section. Oh, the other thing I wanted to add. So we have front banner, and front banner obviously needs to have an action button, right? What's a good front banner if there's no shop button? So we're going to add a block, and this block is called button. Very easy. Now, in order to edit button, you have to click on Edit Button menu. And then this is a text, so it'll say Shop Toys, not Shop. And we need to attach a link, right? So button takes us somewhere. Conveniently enough, you don't need to type any links. Squarespace already gives you links to all your pages. So we'll just pick shop here. And we just grab the button and put it right here. And say save. And exit. Just make sure that it works. Go to our demo and click shop toys. And here we go. Here's our toys. Well, at least this part works, right? Okay. Here we go. So, we're going to now edit a little bit the front page, make it more interesting. So for one thing, we can change the colors, right? So let's say that this one, I don't want to have this gray. I want to edit this section. I want to change colors to maybe more of this colors. As you can see, this is a beauty of, Squarespace having pre-designed themes, right? The color of the section has changed, but your button has changed too, so it's not the same color. Squarespace smart enough to know, right? So I also want to create a little bit of a wave here, right? So I'm going to go to previous section, say edit section and add a divider. And maybe not this kind of divider. Shape, I will pick this divider. How's that? Right? And maybe in the end of this section, I'll add the same divider. So we have now the About Us section kind of is going to look more interesting, right? I'm also going to go to look at the footer and say footers kind of looks boring, so I'm going to change art to this. All right. Wow. That's way too much, but okay, let's say I like it and I exit. All right, so then we can change section About Us by clicking on Edit, clicking on Image again, and you remember the story. You just change the image to something that you want to have. You can upload file, and let's say this is About Us. Okay, and then maybe us. Yeah. Okay, so now we have this. So we have a banner, let's save it. So we have to save all the time, otherwise you're gonna lose changes. So we have, let's look at our website now. I don't have a logo yet. Eventually, maybe I will build it, but at this point, it's just Pearl Up Cat Toys, smarter play for curious cats. We have shop toys, it works. We have featured products which don't work. So they actually, in the template, they don't work, but we can fix that. We have About Us section, and we have footer. We can change to our website. In the footer, we can change location, contact, all that is changeable and editable like text, so you already seen that. Great. So what else do we need? Let's look at the contact form. So contact form doesn't look too interesting yet. And maybe I want to have it slightly different. So I'm just going back to the edit mode and edit this. And we're going to edit form now. So this is a new block for you. It's called form. It says form right here. So you click on the form. So text you change as normal text. So you will type here whatever you want, right? But form, let's change the form. So I'm going to click on form edit. And now you have completely different menu. It has content, design, and storage. That's a new concept for you, right? So form name, it's not important. Button is what this button is going to say. I'm going to change it to submit. Now it says submit. edit form field. So if one don't want to name, email, and message, you can change message to tell me more. And you can say required or not required. So all is editable. But what is important is the storage. Storage basically tells you where your information is going to go, right? Because if they submit the form and it goes somewhere in space, it's not going to help you to know what your customer wants. So this is where your email notification is going to go. You can add multiple people for email notifications. You can change your email so it doesn't go to your personal email. This is not visible to a customer, but it's visible to you. So every time when somebody enters something into the form and submits the form, you will get notification, okay? It also will collect emails and information about every customer, and it will be in your engagement section in email, so this way you can create your client list. And then, of course, there's a Google reCAPTCHA. If you want to enable it or disable it, you can do it. And basically, that's pretty much post-submit. You want to say, what do you want them to see after they submit the form? Here in this case, it's thank you, but it could be something different. So that's basically how you edit the forms. Similar, if you have nonprofit, you want donate form will be very similar. You will need to connect your site to some sort of a credit card that you have, and you will need to connect your site to something that is a credit card processor, which Squarespace is not, and none of the website builders will have its own processing. They probably will connect you to Stripe or PayPal or any other pay processors. Okay, so we edited, we exit, so you have contact form. Cart will be edited when you have your e-commerce completely set up. So that means that you will have credit card connected where the payment is going to go. So Squarespace will need to go where to send money and where to charge money. For example, you pay for shipping. All right, and then the last thing that I wanted to show, how we doing, very quickly, that if you go to styles, this is where you can change absolutely everything in how your website looks. Remember I told you, don't worry about the colors. Okay, I'm just going to change it to playful. I'm going to change it to, I don't know, there is more of them, right? And you can change every one color. So if you don't like this purple and you want to change it to different purple, you can do that. You can change the look of your buttons. You can change the look of forms. So all of this is very, very editable. So when you start building it, don't just think about, oh my goodness, I don't like this font. I'm just going to sit here for 3 days suffering about the font. Don't worry about that. You can change everything later. So we are at 48 minutes. I think I gave you enough information to know how to start. And again, don't get discouraged. Don't worry if something doesn't work. Like in this case, our featured product is still not showing, but it's totally editable, right? So I can remove the whole section, add new section, rebuild this stuff. So it's very easy. So hopefully you now ready to get your Squarespace account, get your 14 days of free website play and play with it and see what you can create.
Are
All
you
right.
ready? You ready for questions?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. As someone buys a product, how do you get notified and keep track of the inventory?
Yeah. So if you set a specific inventory number, if you, for example, have 10 of something, every time somebody buys a product, Squarespace will subtract one from the inventory. When you get down to one, it will send you a notification that you're low on inventory. When you're at zero, it will send you another notification that your product inventory is exhausted and you need to replenish it. Every time somebody buys something, you get notification in the email that you gave Squarespace.
Okay. Do all websites need to have ADA? Oh, sorry, my screen moved. ADA accessibility, privacy policy, and conditions for use or other similar legal items?
I do have them on my websites. I think it's important. Can you have a website without it? I'm sure you can. It's not a requirement. It's like any business. Do you want to have business insurance? Do you have business insurance? most customers probably won't know if you do or you don't, but if something happens, it's good to have.
Where do the forms with the data submitted, where is that available?
Yeah, they go to contacts and lists and segments, and then you will see all kind of subscribers, email campaigns, you will see email addresses, form submissions, and stuff like that. So all the stuff is in the back end of the website. Yeah.
How do you build a privacy policy, terms of service, refund and return policy in separate pages or in one page? How much legalese do you really need?
I have, if you want, I can show you what I do on my Terra Florence website, so it would be very clear where it is. So that's the second website that I built. So I have it in privacy policy in the footer. It's not linked page, so it is non-linked in pages which are not in the menu, but if you click on it, I do have privacy policy here. It's one page, basically. Basically what it says that if you don't like something, I will return your money, but you're not going to get anything more than that. So it is what it is.
Okay. What payment methods are available? Can you use PayPal with Squarespace?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you manage made to order inventory?
You can set shipping delivery time, basically fulfillment time. So if it's made to order, you probably will need some time to fulfill it. So you always can say that inventory number is 1. Somebody orders it, you say that your fulfillment time, let's say 2 weeks to fulfill it, right? So they will know that it takes 2 weeks, and Squarespace will send all the emails saying thank you for your order is being worked on. You will set it up, what emails you want to go to the client. And then Squarespace will send you a notification that this order has been placed. Your inventory at this point is 0. So every time you want to activate another made to order item, you will just change your inventory to 1 or 2, whatever, how many of them you can make to order.
Does it automatically add sales tax depending on where in the US one is? Does the sales tax go to you or automatically to the IRS? And how do you know how much was paid for sales tax?
Right. So sales tax for e-commerce, so anything that's sold on the internet, are under commercial nexus, right? So it's basically saying that unless you reach, for most states, it's $100,000 in sales, or I don't remember how many transactions, you don't need to collect sales taxes. If you're in a high volume and you're exceeding $100,000 per year per state, that's it per year per state. Each state has different nexus. So I think a couple of states don't have at 0, but Massachusetts is at 100,000, I believe. You will have to collect taxes, and you will have to submit those taxes to the state by yourself. So this is not like Amazon or Etsy, which are marketplaces, which will collect tax and submit tax to the state. Squarespace will collect tax, but you will have that tax as money. You will have to submit it to the state. But you need to get permission from the state to collect sales taxes. So that's the first step that you usually do.
Okay. I am just emailing somebody here. One second. Somebody submitted a question into Q&A, and I'm sending that person my email address, and I'll connect you to Alana on her booking link because your question is a little bit more in depth, and it might be helpful just to have a conversation with her.
Oh, happy
Um,
to.
so yeah, I just sent you my email. It's just connect@bbmentors.org, and I will get you the booking information to meet with Alana. Okay. I think that's all the questions. I think I've got everybody. If I missed anybody, oh, here we got another one. What about baked goods in Massachusetts that should not have sales tax on the web?
If the goods are not taxed, then you will just say don't collect sales tax. That's fine. Yeah, you have a choice to collect or not collect sales tax on Squarespace website. So you just don't collect sales taxes. Food is not taxed as far as I remember.
Okay. Okay. Well, if anyone thinks of any other questions after we disconnect from today, please just email me at connect@bbmentors.org and I will connect, either get that question answered for you or give you her Elena's booking link so that you can ask her. I also have a couple other folks that can work with you. So, yeah, reach out to us. There's our thank you page with our request a mentor QR code, and we are a nonprofit. There's a support our cause if you wish to donate to our organization. So, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Elena, for donating your time to teach this important topic or demonstrate this important topic for everyone. So have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you.